Hello and welcome to Just One More Casio. This is a value focused watch channel, and if you either don't have or don't want to spend a lot of money on a watch but you still want a great watch and a great watch brand on your wrist, then I firmly believe that Casio should be at the very top of your shopping list. And it's amazing how many Casio watches I spot on people's wrists when I'm out and about, particularly the younger generations, shall we say, those of you with less grey hairs on your head than I have on mine. I think for younger people who don't want to be plugged into the matrix permanently by having a smartwatch on their wrist, they're increasingly opting to pick up these retro cool Casios. And I've got just one such watch to show you today, the AQ230. Now the thumbnail says a GMT for $40. It does say GMT in inverted commas though. I may be stretching the definition a little bit, but thanks to the ani-digit display, you can display 2 time zones at once. Perfect if you've got friends and family overseas or you just want to know what time it is in Bolivia. Let's flip the camera and have a look at it. And there it is. Not a long video today. I try not to take too long with these little Casios. They are fairly simple watches after all. Now the thumbnail says $40 US. Shop around. I'll leave a couple of links for Amazon and eBay, but obviously use them as a starting point and find the best deals in your local currency. Chances are you'll find it quite a bit cheaper than that. The model I have here with the baton indices in the gold is probably the most expensive of all of the AQ230 variants. However, a word of warning. If you look at the various Casio global websites, you'll see a number of different colorways. What you won't see is a rose gold one like this or an all black one like this. Look at those prices as well. Now they're in Aussie dollars. That comes in at just over 10 USD. Suspiciously cheap. Believe it or not, people fake these Casios. People fake the Casio F91W for goodness sakes. So use caution. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. So what do we have today then? Well, we do have a small and cute tank style ani-digi. 2-hand analog display on top and a digital display with various surprising features underneath. Now, tank style watches always wear a little bit larger than their equivalent diameter dimension would suggest if it was a round dial watch, but this is not a big and bulky watch today. By any stretch, 30mm diameter. I make it around 38.5mm lug tip to lug tip. Drilled lugs there. I am going to pop it on a leather strap just for fun a little later on. 8.5mm thick, 18mm lugs, tapering down to about 14.5 at the clasp, back up to just about 15, and on the supplied stainless steel bracelet, this one weighs in at 44 grams, so definitely a smaller and lighter watch today then. Now the bracelet is made of stainless steel. Those are rolled links. Those will take most of the hairs off your arm, as I'll show you later on, but the watch itself is not made of steel. This is just plastic coated with this gold looking material that will rub off with time, so do be warned. And it is a piece of mineral crystal covering that dial, which again will scratch if you treat it roughly. The case back is made of stainless steel though, and will also scratch if you treat it roughly, as you can see from mine. Now that's the module number, the 5154. If you buy one of these Casios and it doesn't come with an instruction manual, just Google that module number, they're readily available online. Now this one takes an SR920SW battery. You will find these all day long on eBay for 50 cents. You can just pop that case back off, replace the battery when the time comes and pop it back on. As a consequence, water resistant only. Do not get this one wet. You will regret it. So what features does this 5154 module have in store for us then? Well, perhaps a few more than you might expect. As you can see here, 2-hand are set to 1 time. You can also set the digi display to a different time, hence why I kind of loosely call this a GMT style watch. You can certainly keep track of 2 different time zones rather than just replicating the analog for the digital. Once you cycle through the menu, you can also do a bunch of other things. 1 click of the pusher and you're into date, month and day of the week. Another click of the pusher and you're into an alarm. Believe it or not, this thing has an alarm. Press it for a 3rd time and there is an official dual time function. So if you want the digital to replicate the analog, you can also set a 2nd time zone here. If you want to set it up like I have done with the 2 different ones as default, this gives you the capacity to track a 3rd time zone. And my favourite feature of all, a stopwatch. Believe it or not, you've got a start, stop, reset little stopwatch in here as well. All of this watch's digital features can be adjusted using the two protruding buttons on the left hand side of the case. There is however a third button slightly recessed on the right hand side of the case. If you press and hold it down, you will see hopefully, watch that minute hand, there we are. You can adjust the analog time face, that way you can see the minute hand ticking around there. Just hold it down until you have advanced to the correct time, and then when you're ready you can release it. Easy as that. So not particularly big, but I think these little Casio tanks are a ton of fun to wear. You can see the dial there going from a kind of pale champagne to a deeper gold depending on the angle. I've got a 7-inch wrist for your reference. I know this is going to be too small for a lot of guys, but I have no problems at all wearing a watch of this size. Don't expect diver-like legibility from this thing, but it's not too bad, and you do have the option, as I said, of setting the analog and digital to the same time. So your home time zone, you've got two different ways of telling it there. But getting this one outside into some Sydney summer sunshine, and I do love the gold colour. All that shiny plastic and cheap stainless steel glinting away there. It may not surprise you to learn that this is the second AQ30 that I have had in my collection over the years. I had an all silver one with the black dial a few years ago, but this time I thought I would change it up for a bit of gold. I think gold really suits darker skin tones, so perhaps a summer watch for me rather than a winter watch when I've got a bit more colour on my arms. And there we are for your viewing pleasure today. I managed to find an 18mm suede style strap with a matching gold buckle to squeeze between those lugs. I always say with these Casios, I wouldn't recommend anybody to buy a $30-odd watch and then start spending big money on straps on it. But if you've got a bit of a strap collection, then it's always a bit of fun to mix and match. So another fun and functional little watch then from Casio today. Perhaps not one for big guys or for hairy guys, so if you're a big and hairy guy then I'm doubly sorry, but for the rest of us, a thoroughly entertaining little watch. So there you have it, another value-packed timepiece then from Casio. I can certainly see the appeal of this one and understand why I see it on so many wrists of those younger and trendier than me. You get the retro cool looks with the anti-digi display, and accordingly you get a bunch of features that you don't get if you buy a quartz 3-hand fashion watch. Now the tank profile and relative slimness aren't going to appeal to bigger guys, I don't think, but if you don't mind a slightly smaller watch, this one is a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.